Good afternoon, Recon here with Techout, and today I'm going to be doing a follow-up video that I made yesterday on Android Auto and One UI 8 Beta 1 and the bugs that I was having. And it looks like this is a widespread issue where Android Auto is pretty bugged out here on One UI 8, and I'm not too sure what is going on because the bug kind of works a little bit differently for everybody. It kind of affects people in different ways. I just saw the channel Saki Tech made a video where his would attempt to connect to his car, and it would connect briefly, then disconnect, and the phone would completely reboot. I don't have wireless Android Auto built into my car, but I do have one of the third-party wireless adapters, and I connected to it just fine. I didn't have any issues connecting. It didn't disconnect at all over the hour that I was using it. But when I first connected after updating to One UI 8, I noticed that my apps, mainly Apple Music and Google Maps, they were on my phone. They were installed. They were ready to go, just as they always had been, because I've used them on One UI 7 and stuff like that. But for whatever reason, none of those were showing up on Android Auto. A lot of my Android Auto compatible apps were not on the app screen, and Android Auto has the little map preview where you can see the map and then your music and stuff like that on on the left side of the home screen, and that wouldn't come up. So I had to go stop and get gas anyway. So I stopped to get gas, and I was like, let me open the Maps app and then try it on Android Auto again. So I opened Maps on my phone, and then I disconnected from Android Auto and reconnected, and then Maps showed up. And then I went to play music because I always listen to Apple Music. I don't really use the radio, and Apple Music wasn't there. So I did the same thing again. I opened Apple Music on my phone, and it was already signed in and everything. The Apple Music app was there, ready to go on my phone. It was working just fine on my phone, but I had to once again disconnect and reconnect to Android Auto to get Apple Music to show up. So any of the missing apps, I had to disconnect and reconnect before they would show up on Android Auto. And then once they were working, I noticed my phone was getting pretty warm after, probably like 10 minutes of using it. It got warm enough to the point where it didn't charge anymore. And I went down to Best Buy. It was about 30 minutes away. And then I always leave the Google Maps screen, the small one with the small preview of the map and then my music next to it. I always leave that up by default. And I got a message saying that 3D buildings on Google Maps wasn't available because of my device temperature. And then I got a message saying to turn my phone screen off because it was just sitting on the home screen like this, kind of like it is now when I stopped to pick up my Best Buy order. And it told me to turn my phone screen off to help the device cool down. So those were a couple things going on. And then I just noticed that some apps just weren't working right, mainly because of the device getting warm, and it was getting super warm on the back right here. So that's really the only issue I've had in that regard to One UI 8. There's another little bug where it always gives me the morning brief down here. It was like 4 in the afternoon, and it was still saying morning brief. And as you can see there, the text is kind of uncentered on the bubble, and that's all it shows. So I don't know what's up with that, because even like if I open this, it is early in the morning right now. It's technically, that says late. But when this comes back up, even if it's like 4 in the afternoon, of course it's not there now because I just opened it, but even if it's like 4 or 5 in the afternoon, it still shows the morning one. Even if I opened, the morning one, it's not like it was stuck there from previous. It always comes up on the home screen as the morning brief. So that's kind of weird. Those are just some of the issues that I have noticed here on One UI 8. So, I mean, it's pretty stable. The battery life is pretty good. It's pretty smooth. My only warning to you guys is don't update to it if you rely on Android Auto, because that is a mixed bag of whether it's going to work, whether it's going to work well, whether your apps are going to show up, or whether your device is going to overheat. So just keep that in mind if you use Android Auto. You might want to wait until the next update to see if they fix those bugs before you update to One UI 8 on your main device. I'm Colin with Techout. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. And as always, have a great day.